coming to the close of the transfer window. Today we're going to talk about some high-profile players that might be on the move. I've got Jake here with me today. We're going to talk about two players in particular. The first one is Jude Bellingham. He's been quite a hot topic of late, been linked with quite a number of the big clubs. Had a great World Cup. He's been playing well at club level in the Champions League and whatnot. The favourite currently, as we speak, is his rumoured to go to Liverpool, but personally it seems like that probably isn't going to happen. Liverpool in some bad form right now. They're currently not even looking at Champions League football, in my opinion, next season. But yeah, Jake, what do you think? Where's Jude Bellingham going to be?
Well, I don't think he's not going to leave this transfer window. Like, I can't see Dortmund getting rid of him this season because then they need to replace him. And I just think with January market, 1 or 2 days left, they're not going to get rid of him now. But I potentially see him moving on in September because currently Dortmund are at the top 4, and a player like that, I think he wants to be in the Champions League to try and create that legacy sort of thing.
For sure. Yeah, he's definitely going to be chasing Champions League football. But
yeah,
who do you think is probably the favourite right now to sign him?
Yeah, I think if Liverpool were in a stronger position, he would have gone to Liverpool.
Do you think he could be one of those players who could be demanding high wages? Because I feel like he's the biggest.
I don't think so. I think he's got a good family and that sort of thing. And look, these players get paid thousands. What's the difference?
Thousands?
More than that, man. Yeah, lots of thousands. What's a couple of million to these guys? Yeah, I think for me, if you want to create your legacy, that sort of thing, a club like Liverpool, history and all that sort of stuff. So I don't know the guy, but it depends what he's looking for, I guess, in his career. But
do you think if Liverpool missed out on top 4, then he'd still come?
Potentially, if he bought into the project, Klopp's man and management and that sort of stuff. So if he buys into that stuff, it could potentially, but it definitely hinders, I think, the chances of getting him. If you're comparing to City or something like that, you go, look, they're in the Champions League, they've got money to burn, and wages are going to be higher, so you got to compare and I guess and look at where you want to go.
He's kind of got the pick of the bunch, it seems like.
Oh, 100%.
But for me, he's also been linked with Real Madrid, who famously can probably pay a lot higher wages and just won the Champions League last season, undeniably going to qualify again. Looks like Liverpool may not. Yeah, I feel like City, even in comparison to Liverpool, City almost feel a lot more guaranteed trophy-wise.
Yeah.
And Jude Bellingham's obviously very young, but would he not already be thinking about okay, I just need to get myself somewhere who's going to win trophies?
Yeah, I feel like that's important. When you're comparing all these best players, you're talking about Scholes, Lampard, Gerrard, ultimately you sort of go down to those trophies that they've won, and Gerrard, I think, is an incredible player, but just because he hasn't won as many trophies as those guys.
Yeah, that kind of gets held against him.
Yeah, exactly. And I don't know Bellingham's motive, but I'm assuming he's a pretty driven guy. That's something that he'll want to reflect on the back of his career and go, yeah, I've won these trophies. Same as you're looking at Messi's, Ronaldo's, they've won everything they've touched, sort of thing. So he'll want to set himself in an environment that's best for him to try and win those sort of things.
Before Dortmund, he was at Birmingham City, and after 41 appearances, they retire his number. That's just insane to me. He's a young kid and they retire his number.
But not even that, no Premier League club has retired any player's number.
Liverpool don't even retire Gerrard's
number. That's what I meant. Obviously they think he's just going to go on to great things, sort of thing. So.
And they've just called it early. What kind of stance are they making? We retired it early. We knew he was going to be that good.
Imagine if it wasn't average. We're going to reverse this.
Someone's going to have that number.
You can have that number. That's why.
Yeah, what point are they proving by retiring it so early?
Yeah, I don't know if they want to maybe inspire the young guys coming through the system, or it's.
They're we want to inspire you, but you can't have his number because you'll never be as good as him.
It's no, do you know where his brother's playing? Because I know his brother's been linked to. You just sign his brother and sign him.
Yeah, I know. I've seen so many deals where this club is looking to sign Bellingham's brother, so that Jude can't belong.
Hey Jude, we're getting brother, man.
It's a hostage situation.
Your brother's not playing unless you come.
So you want your brother back? You're gonna have to sign for us.
Great deal.
Yeah, it's so funny how that works. But obviously he's moved to Germany, and I guess for anyone a big thing would be family. You want to be surrounded by friends and people you love and whatnot. So apparently his brother's pretty good as well, a bit younger.
Yeah.
I wonder if they're going to retire his number at some stage.
Just the Bellingham club. Instead of Birmingham, it's Bellingham.
Yeah, that's so weird.
It's unusual.
Yeah. You think if Dortmund qualify for Champions League and Liverpool don't, you think in your mind he's still favourite to go to Liverpool? Or would he leave at all? He does have a few more years. His contract's until 2025, so he potentially could do another year before Dortmund will be looking to kind of cash in on him.
I think Dortmund will probably look to sell him, so they can reinvest into the club. I think they know their mentality is a seller's club. They know they're not going to compete on all those things, particularly a club like that. If they don't make the Champions League, that's pretty big for them because, TV rights aren't the same in Germany and all that sort of stuff. But with Real Madrid, the only thing I'd say, they've spent a lot of money currently on their centre midfield. You know, they've got Tukameni and Valverde, Kaminga. So I don't know, maybe if you're Bellingham, like a bit of competition there, like
for the spot.
Yeah, I don't know if that plays into it.
How about even like Dortmund probably know they could demand a high transfer figure for him?
Yeah.
Like if it's 100 mil plus, like in pounds even, are Liverpool a club that can pay that?
Probably not currently, but like we don't know what's going on with the ownership sort of situation.
Yeah, true.
But again, if FSG want to sell, you're thinking like, I'm not going to be pumping money into this club because I might be leaving sort of thing. So yeah, again, that might play into it. But Liverpool midfield definitely needs like a invigoration, and he could be the guy, I guess, that brings him back to the top. I feel like those three are probably the ones: City, Real Madrid and Liverpool. I can't really see too many other teams. I think Chelsea's been linked as well, but...
For me, like, he does seem like a Liverpool player, and, optimistically, I kind of hope that he does come to Liverpool, and, like, the style of play, there's been so many links with him and Gerrard, and so many things, like, all the boxes are getting ticked, but at the end of the day, when I think about it logically, I just think, if Liverpool, their season's been so bad this year, and if they miss out on top four, all of a sudden, the better players are looking at, like, is that now a step backwards? If I'm at Dortmund playing Champions League football, realistically, they're probably not going to win it, but even just be playing at that level, playing against the top teams, for a lot of players, that is kind of what they want to be doing, playing at the top level, playing the best competitions.
Yeah, 100%. Like, he wants on the stage sort of thing.
Yeah.
And, I can see that.
It would be nice, but for me, it's just been so disappointing. And Klopp's come out and said recently he doesn't want players that are just going to join for Champions League. They do want players to buy into the project and whatnot, but it's always going to be a tough ask, because when you've got like a great squad, you're trying to add to it, but it almost feels like when you miss out on Champions League, you've gone back to a rebuilding phase and you need to kind of slowly creep your way up again. It's tough to know, obviously, but I thought we might be able to get a prediction out.
It's so hard in the Premier League as well now. Like, there's so many good teams that are vying for those four spots. Like, even like Newcastle and stuff, you've got new teams, like, it's just being more and more competitive to try and get in those top spots.
Yeah.
So.
Well, there's probably like 6 teams that every year are competing for the top 4, but now you got to add, the likes of Newcastle in it, and even like Brentford, Brighton, some of these other clubs are now suddenly doing well.
Yeah.
Historically, some of the bigger clubs like Everton and West Ham normally are trying to push for those spots as well. So the whole top half of the table really.
Yeah, it's competitive now, isn't it?
Yeah, it's really tough. The other player I want to mention as well is Declan Rice. His contract expires 2024, so it looks like if he's not moving this transfer window, he's probably going to go in the next one. Do you think West Ham, obviously having a pretty poor season as well, currently down, maybe trying to avoid relegation at this point? Who knows where they'll be at the end of the season, but is that, speaking about midfielders and Liverpool needing a player like that, do you think he would come to Liverpool, or is there another club that you think he might go to?
I suppose like any of the top clubs would love him, but in terms of where you want to go, is he a London boy?
Yeah,
so
he was at Chelsea Academy.
And then so maybe he wants to stay around that area. Or I know a lot of Premier League players like to hang around London. It's a bit more.
So you think maybe like Chelsea is probably more realistic?
Yeah, well, they got money to burn.
Yeah.
I don't know who they haven't signed, but
he's another one. Like, obviously, people kind of joke about like the English tax and things like. How much is he going to cost if West Ham do sell him? David Moyes came out in the past and said like he's going to be like 100 mil plus.
For me, I think Bellingham would probably be worth more. I just think he's a bit more dynamic. He's a bit younger.
Got a lot more goals in his game as well.
Yeah, especially in that World Cup. Like, he looks quality. Just like those like runs into the box. Just like that's Gerrard, Lampard, those sort of players. Like, and you think about like Gerrard and Lampard, how much would they fetch in today's market?
They'd be unreal. Like, they're like proper like world class level. Get into any team.
Yeah.
I think like Jude Bellingham's the same. He's probably got a bit more flair. He's probably a bit more well rounded. He can play in like a 6, 8, and a 10.
Yeah, that's a good point. He's even played a bit on the wing, I think, for Dortmund as well. So.
Like chipping in with goals. I think the biggest thing for Declan Rice, last season West Ham were having a great season. They were towards the top even quite late in the season, and it looked like there was a potential for them to get Champions League spots. And I remember Declan Rice mentioning in interviews and things like that, like it'd be a dream come true for him to be like playing Champions League football. Unfortunately, it didn't work out for West Ham, but he's definitely a player that could play at that level.
Yeah.
Probably going to come to a point in his career where he thinks, I'm going to have to make the move away from West Ham now to kind of make my dreams come true.
Yeah, I think he'll try and get into one of those big 6 clubs, I think, in the next year. I know he's they're still linked to Arsenal, I think, by the next couple of days. That'll be interesting to see if that goes through, because I think that's a player that Arsenal, if they want to try and win the title, I think he would be fantastic.
Like the cherry on the top.
100%. Because the thing, City have so many players, they've got 2 players in every position. Like, Arsenal doing great now, but can you imagine if they get a couple injuries, particularly in that midfield? So they really want to go for it and they splash some money on Rice. I think that'd be a great position, because I know Xhaka's always a bit volatile.
A couple of red cards.
Yeah, so maybe Arsenal, Spurs, Chelsea, maybe one of those London clubs.
So a London club, you think?
Yeah, because I can't see City. I don't think Yeah.
Well, they've got like a player like Rodri, and they bought Calvin Phillips as well.
Yeah,
so they
probably maybe United. Casemiro's doing really well in that position.
yeah, they've just brought him in. He's a little bit older, but he could probably still do a few years in that position.
No, definitely.
Yeah, I probably can see Declan Rice hanging around more the London teams, and it seems like he's linked more with them a lot more stronger than he has been, you know, a Liverpool or a City or a United.
If there's a big money offer come in from, if you're West Ham, would you accept it?
I think so. I mean, obviously right now with their current team, they're not performing too well this season. You know, it comes a time where any club like that, you've got this unreal player, you just cash in. I mean, Tottenham did it with Bale, Liverpool have done it with like Coutinho.
Yeah, guess it's then how you reinvest that money. Cause
and that's the biggest challenge.
8 players are just like
wasted it.
Yeah, you reckon they'll do it in February though? Let Rice go now in this window.
I don't know. I think West Ham probably see Rice as quite vital to them staying up. I think they're, you know, not in the best position right now. They've bought like Danny Ings and a few attacking options, but you know, he's kind of like pivotal player in that team.
I agree, because like for me, I think they'll just want to stay in the Prem. Like they'll do anything to stay in the Prem, because like the TV rights and stuff like that, if they lose that, they're just going to be So for me, I reckon at the end of the year they might think about letting him go and then like reinvesting that money, but I can't see anything happening in the next couple of days.
Nah, I think, last few days I'm the same as you. Like, I think Rice will stick around. West Ham probably need him. If they stay up, sell him, get the money. You've got the whole summer transfer window. You know, invest that money how you please.
Stuff like that.
Have your pre-season, work out what you need. If they let him go, I think they'll just probably free fall, and they're going to really struggle to get any results for the rest of the season. That basically wraps up our conversation about Declan Rice and Jude Bellingham. Chuck in the comments below where you think those guys will end up, whether they'll move this window, the next one, or whether they're just going to extend their contracts. Put your predictions down there. If you've liked this video, give it a like. Appreciate your support. Hit the subscribe button. Click the bell notification as well so you get notified when we're uploading. This has been Jake. I've been Ant. This has been Red Mate. See you in the next one.